Donald Trump is once again at the center of a controversy that blends politics, sports, and scandal. This time, it involves his latest demand that Roger Clemens, the former Major League Baseball pitcher surrounded by allegations of steroid use, be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Trump has turned this into a political spectacle, not only spreading false claims, but also dragging in baseball's most sacred institution while raising serious questions about credibility, corruption, and influence. Trump tweeted that Clemens should be in the Hall of Fame, claiming baseball delayed Pete Rose's induction until after his death. Except there's one problem. Pete Rose is alive, and he's not in the Hall of Fame. The tweet was not only inaccurate, but also revealed once again Trump's tendency to invent facts to fit his narrative. And yet, what might seem like a minor mix-up is actually something much bigger, because it shows how Trump uses cultural icons like sports to project power, to rewrite history, and to rally his followers behind causes that blur truth and fiction. So, let's unpack what's happening here. Roger Clemens was one of the greatest pitchers in baseball history, winning 7 Cy Young Awards and dominating the game for decades. But his career has been clouded by performance-enhancing drug allegations. His former trainer, Brian McNamee, claimed to have injected Clemens with steroids and human growth hormone. Evidence presented in the 2007 Mitchell report backed those claims, including physical materials like vials and needles. Other players, including his friend Andy Pettitta, later admitted to using HGH, which bolstered McNamee's account. Clemens, meanwhile, denied everything, famously telling Congress that Pettitta had misremembered. That denial set off years of legal and public battles. Clemens sued his trainer for defamation. He testified before Congress, was indicted for perjury, and though eventually acquitted, his reputation never recovered. When it came time for Hall of Fame voting, baseball writers overwhelmingly rejected him, citing not only the cloud of steroid suspicion, but also his combative and arrogant behavior. He never came close to the 75% vote threshold required for induction, and in 2022, he fell off the ballot completely. Now here's where Trump enters the picture. Recently played golf with Clemens, and not surprisingly, they connected. Both men have reputations for cheating. Trump has been accused of lying about his golf scores, with caddies saying they were told to move his balls to better lies. Roger Clemens, meanwhile, built his baseball legacy on records now questioned because of peds. Their bond on the golf course seems to have sparked Trump's campaign for Clemens, turning a baseball controversy into another Trump political spectacle. Trump claimed that Clemens should sue Major League Baseball for not being inducted, which is absurd. The Hall of Fame is voted on by writers, not dictated by MLB. There is no legal path to force entry into Cooperstown. But Trump framed it as though he himself had once made a deal with Commissioner Rob Manfred over Pete Rose, a deal that never existed. This wasn't just an exaggeration, it was a fabrication. And yet Trump presented it as fact. What makes this so important is not baseball. It's how Trump operates. He picks a story, distorts the details, and then presents his version as the only truth. He portrays himself as the insider, the deal maker, the man who knows the real score. Whether it's elections, foreign policy, or baseball, the pattern is always the same. And it works for him politically because it creates confusion and divides people into camps of believers and skeptics. Clemens, for his part, is not just weighed down by steroids. His personal life added another disturbing layer when country singer Mindy McCready revealed she had a relationship with Clemens that began when she was 15. Though Clemens denied it was sexual at the time, the story fueled public disgust. For voters, it confirmed not just poor judgment, but a pattern of arrogance and recklessness. That makes Trump's embrace of Clemens even more telling. Trump has a history of standing beside men accused of scandalous behavior, from political allies to business partners. The Clemens case fits neatly into that pattern. And let's not forget the optics of the golf connection. Trump has used golf as a stage to project wealth, status, and camaraderie with celebrities and athletes. Rick Riley's book, Commander and Cheat, documented in detail how Trump cheats on the golf course, even against world-class players like Tiger Woods. Caddies admitted they cheated for him, moving balls, changing lies, and altering scores. A recent viral video even showed a caddy tossing a ball onto the grass near Trump's cart, giving him a better shot. Against that backdrop, Trump playing golf with Clemens, another man accused of cheating, feels almost symbolic. The irony is that Clemens reportedly kept the scorecard from their game, which showed Trump finishing last, despite Trump publicly claiming victory. Once again, the score didn't matter. Trump declared himself the winner anyway, and that sums up this entire episode. Trump's world is not about facts or fairness. It's about control of the narrative. The reaction has been swift. Baseball purists slammed Trump's comments, pointing out his false claims about Rose and the impossibility of suing MLB over Hall of Fame voting. Sports journalists called his tweets delusional. Fans were left shaking their heads at the idea that Trump would insert himself into one of the most sensitive debates in baseball history. Yet for Trump's supporters, the attack on unfair elites in baseball mirrors his political playbook. Just as he says elections are rigged, he now claims the Hall of Fame is rigged. Nationally, this raises questions about Trump's priorities. With political crises, foreign conflicts, and economic challenges, why is a former president spending his energy on Roger Clemens? Internationally, it's another example of how Trump blends personal relationships with public statements, potentially confusing allies and undermining credibility. If he can't get basic facts right about Pete Rose, what does that mean when he's making claims about world leaders or global agreements? The consequences of this pattern are serious. Trump's followers often believe his statements even when they are demonstrably false. That erodes trust not only in media, but in institutions like the Hall of Fame itself. It also sets a precedent where truth is optional and loyalty to Trump's version of events is what matters. The same tactics used to defend Clemens mirror the tactics used to deny election results or dismiss criminal investigations. So, what comes next? Clemens remains outside the Hall of Fame. Pete Rose remains outside the Hall of Fame. And Donald Trump remains committed to reshaping every debate into one about loyalty and grievance. But all eyes are now on how this narrative spreads. If Trump succeeds in turning the Hall of Fame debate into another political wedge, we may see more athletes, celebrities, and scandals pulled into his orbit. The next 48 hours will decide how widely this story circulates, especially as Trump continues his social media barrage. The irony, of course, is that the Hall of Fame doesn't bend to political pressure. It doesn't care about tweets or threats. And while Trump may succeed in creating headlines, he won't succeed in rewriting baseball's history books. Roger Clemens, Barry Bonds, Alex Rodriguez, their legacies are written in scandal, not enshrinement, and Trump's support won't change that. But what this story really shows is the method. Trump takes something as sacred as baseball, twists it, and uses it to remind his audience that he alone knows the truth. Whether it's golf, steroids, or Coopertown, the game is always the same. If you found this breakdown valuable, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment below. Do you think Roger Clemens deserves a place in the Hall of Fame, or is Trump just using another controversy to rewrite the rules? Stay tuned for more exclusive analysis because this story is not going away anytime soon.